Okay, so welcome everybody. Great to start new classes and seeing some new students as well. That is really nice. So we will be starting on Prashnopanishad. Before we start on that, let us say prayers to the Lord. So for each Upanishad, by tradition, some Shanti part is included, which is sung before, chanted before and after every lesson. Now in this Prashnopanishad, there are actually two mantras which are included. These are Om Bhadram Karnepi Srinuyama Deva and Swasti Na Indro Vriddhashava. These are fairly common mantras, and I'm sure most of you have studied it. I have taught in my classes, so I always teach something new, in every class. So I have brought new Shanti Patas for you, and these are with the theme of Prashnopanishad. So Prashna has placed a lot of emphasis on Prana and Shraddha. So the first, particularly Pran. So the first mantra is on Pran, and the second mantra is on Shraddha. So I will first teach you these mantras. We will chant the first one. At the end of the class, we will chant the second one. So this mantra says, this mantra is from the Atharved. Actually, that is another very strange thing. This Prashnopanishad is from Atharved, but the two Shanti Patas which are included under Prashnopanishad are found in Rigved and Yajurved. Both the mantras are found in both the Vedas, but they are not from Atharved. So I have got you this one from Atharva, and the second one is from Rigved. So this is from Atharved. What it says is Pranaya Namo Yasya Sarvamidam Vashe Yo Bhutaha Sarvasyeshwaro Yasmin Sarvam Pratishtitam. So it says salutations to Pran, that is the life force. Yasya Sarvam Idam Vashe, in whose control everything exists. Yo Bhutaha Sarvasya Sarvasyeshwaro, the one who is the Lord of everything which we see. Yasmin Sarvam Pratishtitam, and in whom everything is situated. And then, of course, there is Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. I will tell you some more about this later. So this here, Pran has two meanings. Okay, and the one which represents our breath, typically Prana, all of you would be understanding as breathing. So that is one very trivial one which I can say, meaning which is there. However, it is also important in the sense that Pran is a very important part of life. It is the life force itself. So if we look at that meaning first, so we say that, oh Prana, we take care of you. See, when you say salutations, there is no point in saluting something which is non-living. So you have to change it according to the context. So for Pran, we are saying Pranaya Namaha, meaning that we care for you. You are what is most important for us. And you control everything within this body. Okay, that also is very clear to us that Pran is actually what represents life. Everything which is living in our body is living because of Pran. Yo Bhutaha Sarvasyeshwaro. So basically, you are the Lord of everything within my body. Yasmin Sarvam Pratishtitam. All the remaining parts of me, parts of this living body are actually situated inside you. Okay, so that is a very clear meaning. where we are telling Pran that we are um, giving emphasis to the importance of Pran, and saying that yes, we understand how important you are for my well-being, and therefore I vow that I shall take care of you by doing pranayam, by thinking good thoughts, and by performing good action, all of which increases our life. So that is the preliminary meaning. But as I guess some of you would have already understood, there is that deeper meaning where pran means God. Now, this should not surprise you actually, because in Sanskrit, everything has a meaning. So that meaning is not fixed to any object. So if that particular meaning is applicable to some other entity, that word can be used for that other entity as well. So for example, this ana stands for breathing. That is the primary meaning of pra, which is a prefix, and ana, which the primary meaning is ana, but also it means the adhar, the basis. So God is also called prana. So here the second meaning is for God, who is called prana. Why? Because everything in this world is dancing to his tune. He is the Lord of everything, and in him everything is situated. He is situated in everything, and everything is situated inside him. The same is true for Pran as well. So it's quite amazing that the things which have been brought out in this mantra apply equally well to the life force, that is Pran, and to God. Okay, so in that case, to God, we of course pay salutations, and we pray to him that this course, new course that we are starting, may it go well, and may we understand everything, may everything be illumined. So let us say our prayer. Om Pranaya Namo. Please repeat.
Om Pranaya Namo.
Yasya sarvamidam vashe.
Yasya sarvamidam vashe.
Yo bhuta sarvasyeshvaro.
Yo bhuta sarvasyesvaro.
Yasmin sarvam pratishthitam.
Yasmin sarvam pratishthitam.
Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.
Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.
So I didn't tell you about the Shanti Shanti Shanti, why it is repeated thrice. So there are three aspects which are considered in this world, and particularly our experiences are divided into three. So one is or I should say our sorrows are divided into three. So one is Adi Devik, Adi Bhautik, and then Adhyatmik. So everything which is related to nature, Deva actually means not some Indra sitting somewhere in heaven, but the natural forces which are there. So you have Agni, Vayu, etc. You would have heard of. So these are the natural forces. So anything which is related to natural forces is called Adi Devik, which is dependent on natural forces. So things like earthquakes and tsunamis, or anything like that is called this Adi Devik Dukha. Then you have Adi Bhautik, which is dependent on other beings. So those which are coexisting with you, they are causing you some issues. Those are all clubbed under Adi Bhautik Dukha. So for example, if you have somebody cooking something in the kitchen and the smell is irritating you. So all those kind of things are included, or somebody steals something from you. So those are adi bhautik dukkhas, or a dog bites you. All these which are related to other living beings that is affecting you is called adi bhautik dukkha. Then the third one, that is adhyatmik. Okay, adhyatmik is that which is related to the soul. So not only your soul, but the supreme as well. So there is but the supreme directly is not giving us sorrow. It is coming through either my body or my mind, or something within my soul. So all those things which are linked directly to me are considered under adhyatmik, adi atma, that is adhyatmik. Okay, so these are the three subdivisions of sorrow. You can think over it, whether you can consider, you can come up with any other sorrow which might exist, and you will find that actually this is a very complete classification of sorrows. So therefore we say Shanti, may that sorrow be go away. May all these three sorrows go away. So for each sorrow, we say one Shanti. Clear? Okay, let us just go over the meaning of the second mantra as well. So here this is a prayer to Shraddha. Now, obviously, again, Shraddha, which we understand as faith, is a non-living thing. So there is no point in praying to that Shraddha. Of course, you can have an alankar where you embody something with meaning, and then you pray to that. But that is also not valid here. So in Sanskrit, Shraddha means Shrat, which means truth, and Dha means upholding it, Dharan karna. So Shraddha means the upholding of truth. Okay, so God is the one who is upholding the whole universe, all the truths which make up this universe. So he is being addressed in this mantra as Shraddha. So this mantra says, Shraddham pratar havamahe. In the morning, I invoke the Lord. I pray to him in the morning, pratah. So why in the morning? Because that is the time when I sit down for Sandhya to pray to him. Sandhya means the meeting of two things. So because night and day meet at 2 points, that is at dawn and at dusk, that is why we do Sandhya at these 2 times, at which times we remember the Lord. Why do we remember? In the beginning of the day, we pray to him. He is the first thing we think of, and then we say, oh Lord, may I make good use of this day. May this good day be good to me. So Shraddham pratar havamahe. Shraddham madhyam dinam pari. So in the middle of the day, throughout the day, I keep you in my mind. All my actions are dedicated to you. Shraddham suryasya nimruchi. When the sun is going down, nimruchi means going down, sunset. So at sunset time also I pray to you, I call you. Shraddhe Shraddha na. Shraddhe, hey Shraddha, oh Shraddha, please give me Shraddha. May I find you, may I have faith in you. May you become dear to me. I am anyway dear to you, but you are not so dear to me. So by remembering you throughout the day, I want to make you dear to me. And I want myself, if I have doubts in your existence, that I should have faith in your existence. So you see, Shraddha in old Sanskrit literature does not mean blind faith, which is what we understand today, that some guru told you and without thinking you accept it. Yes, it could mean that something which knowledgeable entity, which could be a guru, or which could be my parents, or which could be some text like Prashnopanishad, which I'm reading. It says something and I trust that entity. Then I accept this fact, pending verification. Okay, so one day I hope that I should be able to discover this truth myself. But till then, I accept it as the truth. Just like we accept Einstein's theory of relativity. So we are not capable of being able to derive it ourselves, prove it ourselves, understand it fully ourselves. So the final conclusions we accept, because so many Einstein has said, who was a genius, and other scientists have agreed to it. So we accept their verdict and we say yes, it must be correct. So similarly, there are many things which we accept, but we should be very careful about accepting this, because in today's time, as you know, there are so many people saying so many contradictory things, and all of them could not be true. And some people are just out to make a quick buck. So, okay, so now you can please mute yourself. We will start on the lecture proper on Prashnopanishad. Okay, I'm stopping the share here. Okay, so first let me tell you a little bit about, give you some background. So I will first tell you about the Vedas, of which these Upanishads are, you can say, a commentary. So the Vedic lore, as it is called, the main, the oldest Vedic literature, which we cannot date at all. This Western scholars have given some dates. Somebody says the Vedas are 2000 years old, somebody say it is 5000 years old, somebody say, some people say it is 10,000 years old. These are all conjectures, it's not actually correct. So they belong to a hoary past, and it is not at all possible for us to date it. There is a date which is available, and which is fairly reliable. However, I shall not go into that at this point. So there are the Vedas who are supposed to have come with the advent of human beings on Earth and on any other planet where the humans will arise. Vedas will come over there. Then from the on the Vedas, there were three types of commentaries which were written in again in the hoary past. So these were the Brahmanas, the Aranyakas, and the Upanishads. So the Brahmanas, if you read them, they seem to be only describing how to perform certain complex yajnas. So they give the full description of how to perform Darsh, Pawan, Mas, yajna, etc. But actually, as in that description is hidden a commentary on the Vedas. While of course the yajna is itself being described, and we have forgotten what those yajnas were and what they were good for. But within that, a lot of statements are directly understandable as explanations of Vedic words. But a number of things we don't understand. In fact, most of it we don't understand today. However, they are still retained. A lot of Brahmanas have been lost, but we do have at least one Brahmana per Ved. Then you have the Aranyakas. These are similar to the Brahmanas. They are also commentaries, but there is more spiritual content in them. Upanishads are actually typically part of the Brahmana or the Aranyak. As a standalone, there are very few Upanishads. In fact, out of the 10 principal Upanishads, which are covered under Ishikena Katha Prashna verse, Isha is from Yajurveda. So it is the Shukla Yajurveda, the last chapter is Ishopanishad. And these other Kena, Katha, Prashna, etc. These are all part of some Brahman or Aranyak or the other. Now the Upanishad, why is it separated from there? The most spiritual part of that Brahman or Aranyak seems to have been taken out and put into a separate text. Why? Because this spiritual part does not contain ritualistic knowledge. So, since the Brahmanas and the Aranyakas are giving a lot of ritualistic knowledge, along with that, they are giving the spiritual knowledge as well. So, this spiritual knowledge has been put in a separate place where very deep spiritual seekers or even small spiritual speakers like us, seekers like us, can get some knowledge of the spiritual world. So Upanishads are seen as the epitome of spiritual knowledge in India, and it has been highly praised by the West. And as you know, if the West has said it is great, then it must be great. So we have also accepted it as fantastic. There is no doubt they are very, very very, very bhakti ras is there, plus a lot of knowledge is contained in the Upanishads, and they are a delight to read. So they are wonderful, and a lot of spiritual knowledge is contained in them. Now to tell you about Prashnopanishad. In this list, Isha Kena Katha Prashna, as you can see, Isha Kena Katha Prashna. So Prashna comes in the fourth place. Okay, so you can say in the 10 principal Upanishads, Prashna is in the fourth place. Though it's not very accurate to say it, but kind of. So Prashna Upanishad is considered very important. Firstly, because it gives a very detailed exposition on prana. And there are 5 pranas. Prana itself is divided into 5. And those descriptions are given very in great detail in Prashna. As well as there is a 16 faceted Purush, which is considered. Okay, which is again referred to in various texts, but it is explained in detail in Prashna. I have not come across any other text in which these are explained, but that may be my ignorance. So, Prashnopanishad. Okay, from what I told you about Vedic lore, what you will understand is that each Brahman, Aranyak, Upanishad is connected to one Veda. Okay, this is tradition. So this Prashnopanishad is connected to the Atharva Veda. Also, it is connected to the Pippalada branch. Maharshi Pippalada was a great rishi of yore. We can't date him, and he started a school, and this Upanishad belongs to the Brahmana from that school. Yes, Srividya, tell me.
Yeah, you said 16 faceted Purusha. Is that talking about the Parama Purusha or the soul?
Yeah, good question. We'll keep it till the end. But this is the Shodasha Kala Purusha. Okay. Okay. So now, so I was telling you about Prashnopanishad and Maharshi Pippalad. So Maharshi Pippalad was a very famous rishi. His name is Pippala At. So Pippala is typically the berry which is of the people tree, but it may be other berries as well. So the one who eats those is called Pippalada. So that is the kind of names which were there in ancient times. And so Maharshi Pippalada is just his name means the one who eats the people berries. So Maharishi Pipalad was very famous, and he occurs in this Upanishad as well. In this Upanishad, you have 6 students who are themselves actually quite learned, though they are young. They come to Maharishi Pipalad having heard his fame, and each one of them asks him one or more questions, and they form the Upanishad. So you have 6 chapters which are there, and each chapter takes care of the questions of one person. Okay. So let us start with the first verse. Would you like me to share these are actually in this Upanishad. Yeah, let me tell you this bit as well. So these 6 chapters, they consist of textual matter. Okay, they are, you can say, paragraphs which are numbered. And there are a few verses in between, but otherwise this is a Gadya, Kavya. So there are 16, 13, 12, 12, 7, 8 paras in the chapters sequentially, which means totally there are 68 paras, which we can call kandikas, which are there in this Upanishad. Okay. So would you like me to share the screen of the Upanishad, or do you have the Upanishad verse which you can repeat after me directly in front of you?
I have.
You have?
No, I don't. You have to share.
I have to share. Okay, cool.
Okay.
I don't know. It seems to have disappeared. 1 second, please. Yeah, are you able to see it? I think you will be able to see it. Okay. So I will chant here this Namaha Paramatmane Hari Om that you leave. We'll just say Om and proceed. So you can please repeat after me. Om Sukesha cha Bharadwajaha. Please unmute yourself and you can chant after me. Please unmute yourself and you can chant after me.
Okay.
Om Sukesha cha Bharadwajaha.
Om
Sukesha Bharadwajaha
Shapyasya Satyakamaha.
Kepyasya.
Say,
It reads.
Shapyasya Satyakamaha.
Devyascha Satyakamaha
Sauryayani cha Garyaha.
Sauryayani cha Karyaha
Kaushalyashashvalayano.
Kaushalyascha
Ashvalayano. Bhargavo Vedarphihi.
Bhargavo Vedarbhihi
Kabandhi Katyayanas.
Abandhika Tyayanas
Te hate Brahma para Brahmanishthah.
Hete Brahma para
Hate
Brahma para Brahmanishtaha
Param Brahman Veshamana.
Param Brahmam Veshamanam.
Eshaha ve tat sarvam vakshyatiti. Eshaha ve
Eshaha ve Tatsarvam
vakshyatiti.
Vashyatiti.
Teha samit
Vakshati
pranayo.
Teha Samit Pranayo.
Bhagavantam pippaladam upasannaha.
Bhagavantam Pipalada Samannaha. Samupasannaha.
Upasannaha. Correct.
Sanmaha.
Okay. So, if any of you know a smattering of Sanskrit, even you will understand that this is very easy Sanskrit. And you know, I had in one of the classes said that the Upanishads are very difficult to understand. So one of the students has said, "No, I know Sanskrit. I will tell you what it means." So I said, "Yeah, I don't know Sanskrit too well. I know a little bit, but that is not the issue. The language is not the issue. It is actually the content which it is so difficult to comprehend." So in fact, let me tell you upfront that Prashnopanishad is a fairly symbolic Upanishad. It is different from the popular Upanishads for this very reason that it is not saying things literally and directly. So you cannot understand things just directly understanding the statement. There is a hidden meaning and there are various layers of meaning. I hope I shall be able to convey some of this to you. Also, I have to tell you that I take deviation from most of what is popularly written. So I am referring to, for example, to three commentaries at the moment while teaching you. So while I take stuff from all the commentaries, but I have my own insights, and I will tell you where mostly where I am taking a difference, and that is why I give you notes so that you don't have to depend on any other commentary, and whatever I am teaching in class, you will understand it in sync. So you will see yourself that I have not come out with these explanations just like that, but that they fit into the whole thing. And if you read the commentary of others, uh, they kind of grow up at certain points, and it's not making sense. But the way I try to see it is to put it into that context, and then, for example, in this first prashna itself, you will see that a lot of things fall into place with the way which I will be interpreting it for you. Okay, so let us close it here since there are only 2 minutes left here. So I will stop the recording and we will start the new session. Okay, please join the new session.